Hello, this is Wildfire speaking. In this video, I'm going to be talking to you about the new Albany, Indiana Harvest Festival and how it relates to Robert Ivan Nichols and his Zodiac and the connection between the three. In this video here, I'm about to start. They're talking about the origins of the Harvest Festival.
Albany's Harvest Homecoming Festival has been going strong for more than 50 years. Did you know it started as just a modest pumpkin display? That fun fact and more in tonight's WHAS 11 Vault.
Pumpkins.
A proud tradition of the Harvest Homecoming Festival first started in 1967. It was a three-day event centered around community and pumpkins.
Folks were setting up for the Harvest Homecoming. Things really kick off in the morning. Expecting carnival rides, food, and dozens of other things, including a parade tomorrow at 2. The parade starts at Albany High School and proceeds downtown.
Since 1967.
Fast forward more than 50 years, the tradition has grown into one of Indiana's largest festivals, drawing thousands of visitors to the city for a week-long celebration every year. Down on Market Street, people were still playing games. Kids and clowns were natural companions as other folks tried their luck at the games. For many Hoosiers, it's more than just fun games, it's tradition. You've sat here in the cold and in the rain years before. Typical harvest day. We come every year. And there's tradition rooted in food. Earlier tonight over at the Harvest Homecoming Oktoberfest, folks were chowing down on hot bratwurst and sauerkraut. The big attraction, of course, was the beer. Over 450 gallons were sold last night. From the chicken and dumplings to roasted corn, apple butter, and the famous donuts, Harvest Homecoming offers many tasty treats to those who take part in the festivities. WHAS 11 was there in 1980 for one particularly memorable dessert.
We just had a wild idea, to say we built things to have a fried order.
The pie weighed in at 50,000 pounds and needed a forklift to get it into the oven.
What George and Marion put together here with lots of help is an 8-inch deep, 10-foot diameter apple pie made with 320 pounds of sugar, 30 pounds of butter, 400 pounds of pastry, 10 pounds of cornstarch, 5 pounds of spices, 65 barrels of apples, and lots of TLC, tender loving care.
And tender loving care is a theme in this famous farm-based festival, where every family, food offering, and fun activity is designed to celebrate a community so proud of their roots.
Well, here are some of the pumpkins that they made. There's a giant pumpkin. Pumpkin people. Giant pumpkin. Everything centered around pumpkins. And in the Halloween card, the Zodiac put a giant pumpkin in front of the skeleton's private parts. To me, that meant the birth. I think that was a woman skeleton, and that's the birthplace. He's hinting that his birthplace had something to do with pumpkins. And New Albany in Indiana had a harvest in October, the same time that the Halloween card was sent. They had this harvest festival that started with pumpkins. Inspired by pumpkins. The main attraction is the giant pumpkin, which I will show you in another video. Or in another, in a couple minutes here. There's the Grand, a giant theater in which people went to watch the movies. Did you notice the G? I'll play it again. Notice the G. You notice the G, how it kind of resembles the letters in the Titwillow letter, where he had where it's believed that he had his initials. That could be the inspiration right there. And here's that logo again that I've showed you in other videos. Downtown City, New Albany City. New Albany logo. And that logo, it's the bottom of it is my belief is that that's the inspiration for the one symbol in the Z13 that looks like Ram's head upside down. But it's also a symbol. If you took the dot or that circle that's in between right below the N and the T, mostly the N, you put that on the side of this logo and take away the bridge and the water, you get a symbol that's on a Z408 and Z340. And another symbol is the same as this, but the dot is on the opposite side, on the left, and one is on the right. One time it's on the right. This can't be a coincidence. And there's that pumpkin again. Oh, it disappeared. Let me just wait till I get a good view of it. Where's that? There it is, right there. A giant pumpkin. It's in every parade. Sometimes it's that one, and sometimes it's the one that's robotic, and the eyes move or the head moves back and forth. And this is in Bank and Market Street, and in New Albany, Indiana. What do you think? There it is. Those big eyes and this triangle nose and the big mouth kind of reminds me of the skeleton's face itself. But this is the pumpkin, giant pumpkin. It's in every parade. And back in the 60s and 70s, it didn't have a smile. It was just a plain pumpkin. But as the years went on, they added a face to it. And like I said, this pumpkin here is the reason why the Zodiac put a pumpkin on over top of the private parts of the skeleton in the skeleton letter, the Halloween card. And if you look closely on the Halloween card, which I'll show you right away here, we can see on the U doctored Halloween card, the wide pelvic bone shows it to be a female skeleton.
Join us at Leo Vegas online.
Oh. As I was saying, there it is. Now if you use the pumpkin and the legs, that's an R. The arms make a N, capital N. And in the body itself, if you take the arms away and the legs away and the pumpkin away, you get a big line for the body. and then a big hot head, a dot for a head, like a light bulb. That's an I, a lowercase I. So it's R-I-N, Robert Ivan Nichols. That's what it's supposed to look like. And that's what it looks like after he's done with it, with the 14. Also, if you look in the hands, there's 2 fingers, and then the third finger is separated, and it looks like a 6. That's 26. Robert Ivan Nichols was born in 1926. And Robert Nichols is 14 letters long. And that's why there's a 14 right there on his hand. The letter 14. Like I said, the pumpkin and the legs is an R. Not perfect, but he's not going to make it that easy for you. And then the I is the body and the head with the dot on top. And then the arms. Why would you have one arm down and one arm up? That makes a perfect N. And then the 26, as you can see there. Now if you look at the card, original card, like it shows here, has no eyes. Just that one in the tree. And a happy Halloween. But why spoil the game? There's no boo. Why would he say boo? Now this is the afterwards. This is what he drew. Now look, to me that's an N on the top. And then that dot by itself is an I. And that loop. Why did he have a loop there? And then there's a K. N-I-K. And then he put these dots right underneath the boo. He put a bunch of I's. That looks like an L or an upside down T. But I think it's an L. So N-I.